Good morning and good afternoon to those followers on the East Coast or in other parts of the world. Happy Earth Day. My name is Jamie Pierce Elwell. I really wanted to make sure that we were focusing on things that we can share with our clients and also how to educate what we know to our clients. So you can see we just had a second feed join in. So my husband is actually behind camera number 2, and for any of those that followed me last week on my Instagram Live, he's going to be getting some second angle shots more up close and personal. So before we get started, again, let's just kind of go over what we're going to be doing today. So everyday styles, and we're going to be breaking this up into 3 segments. So we're going to do this for short hair, medium hair, and long hair. Sound good? So while I wait just a moment for a few more people to kind of jump on so that we can get a flow and no one misses out on too many things. Hey, Mac, I just saw you join. I just wanted to make sure that everyone is set up, has a pen and paper, things to take notes, and is ready to ask questions, okay? So what was really inspiring for me this week with this class was staying connected with my clients. I've actually been doing quite a bit of FaceTime and Zoom appointments. I have had clients that finally want to learn how to curl their hair or do a proper blow dry, things like that. And so what came up for me is actually what's missing for them as well. As much as I may have thought that they had all the tools that they needed or understood sectioning or even product application, these were big missings. And I think these are aha moments not only for clients, but us as stylists, that we know what to bring into the salon once this is all over, and also something that for you to take home right now to be able to maybe do some of your own one-on-one Zoom calls with your clients to stay connected, keep them inspired, keep their hair looking pretty cute, so we can go through that so that we're not wearing the same messy top knot bun. I mean, I'm guilty of it. I love it. But I also love my accessories, so we're going to be playing a lot with accessories today. So I feel like we should go ahead and jump right in. How's that sound? Good? Okay. So I have notes today to stay on time. So let's go ahead and jump in. Let me grab my mannequin. So we have our stand. And I wanted to go in and start with short hair, okay? So some of the different concerns and categories that came up with the questions I had put out there to you guys was how to style bangs or fringe that have grown out. So we're going to go over that today. So the very first thing I'm going to do is actually redefine this fringe area, okay? So she's cute. I mean, she's got like a long curtain bang, but I'm going to also pretend that maybe like 8 weeks ago when she came in, this was cut right to her brow line so she could see. So maybe it wasn't her intention, or she doesn't know how to style these now. And I'm sure there's some of you at home right now that haven't maybe taken the shears to your own bangs, so you're kind of stuck in the middle, like, what do I do? So really big takeaway is hair is moldable, wet to dry, and hot to cool. So that's something I'll probably repeat multiple times in this, but hair is moldable, wet to dry, and hot to cool. So what does the hot to cool mean? That usually means what we're the most comfortable with, right? Our hot tools. So with a hot tool, we're able to reshape the hair and kind of tell it the shape that we want it to maintain. So if you have naturally curly hair, you use a flat iron with that heat to smooth out that curl. Now, what happens is, especially with a fringe area, because this hair is shorter than the rest of the hair on the head, is it doesn't have as much weight to hold it down, right? So it's always has a tendency to spring up or kind of bounce out of the way. So no matter how much you or your clients will go in with maybe a flat iron or something to try to go in and smooth that down, if you had a rough night of sleep last night, you were tossing and turning, and you woke up and your bangs were sticking straight up, no amount of flat ironing is going to give you the actual shape you want to see. So what does that mean? It means you got to start over. So I'm going to go in and isolate the fringe area, okay? Everyone see me, hear me? We're good? Clip that out of the way. So I've pretty much isolated that fringe area. You can see Ryan's getting in there nice and tight. And this is a tip that I teach to my clients all the time when they have fringe, is to re-wet the root. So either you have a little spray bottle with water, a nice little mini one, so I don't take up a bunch of space on my background here, or even for clients or you as stylists, you can stick your hand under the faucet in the morning and just kind of re-wet the root. So I'm going to go in and re-dampen this. Really make sure you can see that all that root area is now re-dampened. So now I can re-control this, right? So I'm going to cut in and out with my blow dryer. I'm going to use it on lower speed so that it doesn't take up too much sound, okay? But what we're going to focus on before I turn this on is kind of power drying the root just slightly with our fingertips first, okay? Just to get that dripping moisture out. And then we're going to directionally start to move the hair. So because I want this to be kind of a cute center part, modern curtain fringe shag kind of feel, I'm going to be kind of working the root back and forth, and then I'll be finishing those ends the direction I want them to sit. Sound good? Okay. So power drying at the root. And then I'm going to kind of directionally pick up the roots. So at this point, the bangs are still about 30% damp. So because we've already gone in and created a softness to that, now I feel comfortable splitting it. If I were to have gone in from just wet and started blow drying dead center like this, she's going to be really flat, have no volume, and not be very cute. So we're going to kind of work that now that we put a little shape in there. Much better.
Watch your pillows, no infections.
Okay. Blow drying done. So you can see being able to dry that from wet to dry and hot to cool is now giving us the desired shape we want. Another aha for me this week with teaching to some of my clients with styling was us as stylists are very comfortable with our hands. We can do the softest little zhuzh with our fingertips and it can change our look completely, right? When I had finished doing a curling lesson with one of my clients and told her, run your fingers through it, shake it up, feel good. Even that was kind of a difficult motion to her. Like, how did she run her hands through it to break it up in an easy way? So our hands are also tools. When this fringe is still warm from the blow dryer, even twisting it and doing a soft manipulation with your fingertips, twisting that hair back away from the face will help to mold it into place. So sometimes it doesn't mean you need to go in with a secondary hot tool. It can just be your fingers as your secondary tool. Cool? All right, so now I want to move on to actually putting a matching texture into this, similar to the other side. So I went ahead and I pre-curled this because I feel like most people out there have kind of mastered a little bit of a beach wave, right? So this is really just a foundation for the style that I'm going to do, and I wanted to be able to demo that a little bit for people who are growing out that bob, they haven't been able to get it cut, or a little stuck with styling, okay? So I'm always going to start in the back and work in clean sections, okay? So even something like sectioning was something that was a really big aha when teaching my clients. For stylists out there, if you're going to be doing this, or even if you're having difficulty, if you're more at the beginning of your career, how to do a clean section, right? A big takeaway was something I learned in school was to match your finger, right? So put your left finger or your opposite hand that you're not sectioning with, put that where you want your section to end, and then slide your finger through the hair and try to find the other finger. And keeping your finger or your comb close to the scalp. What I saw with some of my clients was when they'd go into section, they were just grabbing hair from anywhere. And with that, you can see how that section's not going to come up clean. It's going to be a little jagged. It's going to be harder to have control. Okay? So my doll head has already been pretty prepped. She was blow dried with Shape Me from IME, which is a 48-hour styling hold gel. So I have this in my hair. I'm actually going to have my husband come in front of camera in a little bit because we did something to his hair. And he was prepped with Shape Me as well. It's one of my favorite products. It's really lightweight and it helps to lock out humidity but hold in shape for 48 hours. So I have naturally really curly hair. And so I really love that product to be able to maintain that frizz. Okay. So let's talk about the hows and whys of different tools for different lengths as well. So I think this is what makes it a little bit more easy to understand. I love all my GHD tools. I have a plethora floating here behind me on the table. Ryan's going to come in close. I have my curve tools. I have my Platinum Plus styler. Okay. some more curve. I have wands. I have the GHD Glide Hot Brush, which is one of my favorites. I use that all the time. So I have a lot of variation. So for us as stylists, sometimes we get overwhelmed with options. It's the same when you're in the color bar, right? You're like, I have all these options of color. What do I want to play with today? Let the hair guide you. And this is a good indicator for your clients as well. I like to use the 1/2 inch curve tool from GHD on hair that's about this length. And the reason being, it's harder for someone who's either learning or has shorter hair to get this full rotation with a curve tool, with like a wand. And that's what this is. This one's not on. But sometimes it's harder to get a full rotation, awkward angle, clients burn themselves, things like that. Using a tool like the curve, because of the tong, it works like an extra finger that won't burn, right? So I'm gonna come in, and for myself as a stylist, vertical is always easiest, right? It's nice ergonomically, my shoulder's down, I can get a good slide. I'm taking about a 1 inch section, a little square of a 1 inch. I'm sliding the hair in, softly bending, one rotation, leaving those ends out, makes it nice and modern. Slide it down and through, okay? And I have this little leftover guy, totally fine. So because of the length, my tool size is gonna be a little bit smaller. If I don't love the size of the curl that comes out of it, if it's too strong, then what I can do is take a larger section versus a larger tool. Also try to remember that the larger the tool you use, the weaker the curl and the looser the curl. So if I had gone in with my 1 inch, then what this would look like would be more like a blowout than actual beach wave, okay? So I hope some of these little ahas that I discovered with doing my one-on-one Zoom styling with some of my clients this week are helping you guys, for the stylists out there. Is anyone else doing like Zoom how-tos and FaceTimes and things like that? Yes. No one likes weak curls. Well, Ryan LaFleur knows about curls. He's got curly hair. All right, so I'm just going to quickly put that shape in there, because really this is less for this demo. It's less about the curl and more about the style. That's what we're going to get to. We're going to be talking about all kinds of accessories, because I have all kinds of ridiculous goodies. I love accessories. Sneak peek, my clip tray. Look at all those. Yeah, so we're going to play with some of that stuff in a minute. Because I think that's also a challenge for this length. I have a friend also named Jamie, the other Jamie, and I know her hair is similar to this length right now. She needs a haircut, and she's struggling a little bit too with how to make this style look cute. So I'm alternating that curl so that it's a little bit more of a wave, and then running my fingers through it to soften it. So we got about 4 more curls to do, and we'll go from there. Everyone can see?
So,
Yeah?
yeah.
Okay.
What about the accessories and the clips?
I know I'm extra. Wait till you see the scarf collection. I really hope Stevie's watching today. Stevie Smith, if you're out there, I'm going to show you like a third of the scarves I have. She's also a scarf lover. But I think those are easy ways to kind of jazz up a hairstyle. And for a lot of my clients, they've definitely told me in the past, like they don't know how to make an accessory look cute, and they're always kind of concerned like if they're doing it right. And guys, now's the time to try. Like, you're home. If it doesn't look great, you can take it out, and it's not really going to make you late for work, right? Now's the time just to play and experiment. I've been practicing with these doll heads every day. I've been practicing, okay? All right. Okay, good question. Bring her back up. Oh, thank you. So the hairspray I'm using is Stay Firm. I'm going to put it that one so it's not backwards. Stay Firm from Wella. This is from our IME styling line. So this is our Stronghold hairspray. I decided to go with Stronghold today for the mannequins because a lot of them were prepped either last night or earlier today, and I wanted it to hold, and I'm going to be touching it a lot. Stay Essential is also from them, and that's a go-to styling spray. Stay Firm is a stronger hold and more of a finishing spray. So clients will ask sometimes what's the difference and why would I need either both. Usually a styling spray generality is something that's softer and is also activated by heat, and so it's really moldable and pliable, so you can re-go over that multiple times if you have to change the shape. Most finishing sprays are a lot stronger hold, so if I'm doing an updo or something like that and it's done and it's perfect and I've shown my client her 360 and she loves it and I tell her don't touch it, she's like cool, then I shellac that bad boy in place with something that's really strong. So that's kind of the difference, okay? Hey, Shannon. Okay, so the formula really quickly before I go into the rest of the style. So she was pretty blonde, started like this one. And I have to be creative, guys. I don't have a lot of color here at home. So it was 30 grams of Color Touch 9-stroke 9-6, 10 grams 9-stroke 9-1, and 5 grams of 5-stroke 4 Color Touch. 5-stroke 4-3, actually. So that 4-3, that little bit of depth, I used it almost like special mix because I didn't have any special mix to kind of add a little bit more of a pinky hue to that 9-stroke 9-6, which is like more of a violet based. And so it got this really nice salmony mauve finish. So I loved it. I wanted to do one of the mannequins to look kind of cute, to try her color a little differently because she's in quarantine too. I have a lot of clients that are like, is now the time for me to play with a pastel tone? I'm like, absolutely. Okay, so she's set, she's styled. How do we jazz this up? So I'm gonna get my little elastics. These are my favorite. Obviously, I don't really know what brand these are because it's in Japanese. So I've been to Japan a few times to teach. My friend and mentor, Aubrey Lutz, goes to Japan quite a bit. And these elastics are the bee's knees. They come in multiple colors. And I have never found elastics this strong, ever. So when he goes or I go, we stockpile. And any of you that have gone on Aubrey's hair adventures with us to Japan, you've been to the beauty supply store, you've grabbed those elastics, and they are game-changing, right? Okay, so here's one. It's clear, it's hard to see, I know, but I can really expand this bad boy quite a bit, and I'm not feeling any weakening. So it's amazing. I've constantly tried to find the link. I'm going to talk to Aubrey later and see if he's found the link to order them online, but they're one of my favorites. Okay.
For everyone asking, this video will be online later.
Yes, it is. Okay, so I'm just going to organically pick up kind of a soft triangle section. And again, guys, going into this being an everyday style, our number one tool a lot of the time is our hands, okay? When we get into like more editorial or runway or things that might need to be more polished, we might bring up more of our like hard tools, but your hands are amazing tools that we underestimate. So I've gone in and I've created almost like a soft triangle, top point, far points, and I've just created one little pony. One little pony, that's it. I didn't tease, I didn't need to tease. The curling texture I put in there makes it good, okay? So now I'm just gonna do a reverse ponytail. So I'm gonna split this open, take the tail, slide it through. Cute, easy, done. Now what I'm gonna do is for a little texture, and I was in kind of a 60s, 70s vibe between yesterday and today. I've been listening to a lot of classic rock. You can tell by my little bell shirt, my braids in the front, which actually the braids in the front are for sectioning my hair. I'm going to be doing a demo on myself in a little bit, and that's the hair I still need to curl. But it was a cute way to keep it out of my face, and I kind of like it. So this actually is another everyday hairstyle to wear during quarantine.
ACG styles like Jamie, your hair is everything.
Your hair is everything, girl. It's getting long. Okay, so I just went in and I just created one little 3-strand braid. I'm going to do a second one because I'm really feeling like this natural texture. And I think a 3-strand braid is pretty simple for most people to do. I know I'm going really quickly, but let me slow down. 3-strand braid is 3 pieces. The way that I like to teach this is you're always giving hair to the other side. So the outside hair here on the right is my next piece to give. I'm going to give that to the left. Then the old hair on the left is now going to give it to the right to the left to the right. So it's just a giving game, giving hair back and forth. That's kind of how I always remember simple braids, okay? So I'm just going to put 2 on one side just to kind of add that texture. And then I'm just going to repeat the outline of the section I just did for that first triangle piece. Trying to make sure I can still see those little braids in there. Swing this back. Another one of those amazing elastics from Japan, Tokyo. And there we go. And I'm going to do the same motion, reverse this once, and reverse it twice for a little extra texture. Okay. So again, something really simple, broke it down. I put a little wave in there for foundation. That could have been the end of the style. Then I went in and did one twist, two braids, and a second twist. Now it's time to play with some of the accessories. So this is a big one, I think, for a lot of people. For a lot of us in our 30s or people in their 40s, barrettes and hair clips and stuff, we've already been there, we've already done that. And so now the fact that all that's coming back, we're like, how do we make this cute again, but not feel like I look like I'm 12, like I did in my elementary school picture? And really the reasoning I have for you with this is just go for it, okay? So I have all kinds of goodies, and I think what I like to play with when I look at clips like this is some of these are definitely way bigger, more jumbo sized, right? And then some of these are smaller. So it's nice to pair, if you're going to do multiples, like a large and a small, or kind of play with that, and that helps to keep it from being too obnoxious and also kind of trendy. So depending on the outfit you're going for, or what you're looking for that day. So I'm actually going to go with, let's do like something super basic. I'm going to go with some pastels today. So let's do this. What's the vibe of it? I guess it'll kind of match her hair, right? So you can always try to mask your elastics by hiding this here in the back. But I actually like to have this be seen maybe like a 3/4 view. It's how I like to wear them, not necessarily always like right here in front. Love it. It's super cute. But I kind of like it as a little surprise when you turn your head. So find your strong side, guys. And because I put the braids on this side, I'm going to create balance on the other side with the clips. So I'm going to put one, that's the large. I'm going to go opposite with the small, and opposite again with this small on this side. I think that look works really good with her hair color as well, and she's cute. All right, so hairstyle number 1 complete. For short hair, how to pin it up out of your face, and also how to reshape and mold some of those grown out bangs. Cool? All right, where was she? She was here. So second look for everyday style. So this is also, I would put her in the short category, but she's a little bit longer. So she's like short medium, shemedium. She's shemedium. Okay, so she's right there in the middle. Like, so I went in with her also as well with my 1/2 inch curling iron. And the difference with this one is what I did is I curled all her hair the same direction. In the other mannequin, you saw me alternating my direction of the curl. That creates like a more disheveled beach wave natural texture. Curling everything the same direction will give it a little bit more of a cohesive soft look and almost mimic like a really good blowout. Okay, so those are always things too when you're asking your clients what it is they're looking for. You know, do you want something that's classic, or do you want something that's more modern, more put together, or more loose, right? So the wave that I'm going to show you later on my hair is something that's definitely more loose, more organic, and I do that with the Platinum Plus. Cool. So what I'm going to do on her is, and I'm going to do this later as well in a different variation, is I'm just going to give her like a cute top knot bun, half up, half down. I think that that's something that some people struggle with. So we're going to talk about the sectioning, how to communicate that to your clients, and how to try it on yourself, okay? So yes, she has a side part. We're not going to go off the side part today. I'm going to take her pretty square from, I think it's kind of far away, but right above her eyebrow on both sides. And what I like to do when I do a top knot bun, let me make sure this is kind of even. Yeah, it's pretty even. Is I like for this to meet in triangle, again in the back. So let me spin her so Ryan can get that angle. So see it comes to a point in the back. It's not as square as it is on her front hairline, okay?
Yeah, so if you can only pick one GHD tool.
Deanna, that question is solid. Yes. So the question is, if I had to pick one GHD tool, kind of like if you're stranded on an island and you could take one piece of makeup with you, what would it be? My one tool would be the Platinum Plus. And the reason I say this is we don't really call this through GHD a flat iron. We call this a styler because the technology, the shape, everything about this type of a tool is meant to create multiple types of texture. So with something like this, we can use it as a traditional flat iron, and I can create smooth finish, glassy effects, right? I can also create waves, curls. I can set the hair and have it look almost like a pin set with this. So this for me, I think is an all-in-one, especially if you take the time to practice and learn all the variations of what you can do with this. So I would say number one tool would be a GHD Platinum Plus Pro Styler. The other thing when it comes to hot tools and something like GHD is their thermal heat control. So we're going to talk about that in a second and why those tools are superior. Before we talk about heat control, going into our style, taking my little mini Mason Pearson, thank you Aubrey Lutz, this was a gift a couple years ago, my little baby blue, amazing brush. I'm going to brush all that hair directionally into where I want it to stay, but I want to take a second to talk about different types of hair ties. And this also comes into play when we talk about things like a messy bun or something that's meant to be up higher. So if we're doing something for runway or editorial, I might use elastic, like an actual elastic cord to cut it, make it really tight. For at home, I've actually found that I love these little phone cords, right? I don't even know what you call these ones anymore. But everyone has these now, and Ryan actually loves them in his hair too, especially when we're working out. Something about how big grip the hair holds it in place. So when I'm doing a style like this that I want to have hold up on the top of the head and also help to create volume, I'm going to go for one of these little hair ties because see that and how it stacks up on itself? It's literally shooting straight up out of the head. Where if I were to go in with a little elastic like this guy, or even one of our little traditional hair ties, right? Every person with hair length has 1,000 of these, but you can't find them. These are going to be for smoother hold or the ends of braids or things like that. Volume height control, I love these. Like it's already giving me, like if I just wanted to be like jazzercise Barbie world, this is it. So that little tip and takeaway is huge right there. Okay. Because, where's my dry meat? All my girlies are nice and clean. I mean, I prep them with hairspray product, but they haven't been sweating and doing quarantine workouts, so their hair still is pretty silky. I'm going to prep this bun with dry meat. So this is dry meat. This as well as dry shampoo, and it creates texture, okay? So that's why I want to go in and do that, because even now, using my fingers, it's like she's got a little life in there. So how I like to do a good little top knot is I'll tease half of this, okay? So if you have really fine hair, sometimes you can tease both. You can go in with your weaving comb, or you can use a teasing brush. So there's a variation here in the tips. And it's light, guys. This is just to create texture and volume, or you can leave it like that. It's fine. Okay. So this is just a little texture. This is my smooth finish. So I'll twist these, then I'll knot it. Then I take the ends and wrap it around the base. So that kind of creates a really nice balance between a messy top knot bun, right? That it girl, that perfect amount of like disheveledness versus just whipping it up into a smooth bun. So now I have this little end. We have a couple options. We can just bobby pin it, or for more security, go back in with my elastic. I'm going to make sure when I wrap that elastic on there, I have that tail, and I can just put it on there like that. Take a pin, slide her in, okay? Now, we're going to talk about how to hide roots, growing out roots, because everyone's dealing with roots right now as well. But I think that this is also a really good time to talk about this. If this is a style that you like, and you have really grown in roots right now, they're very harsh and dramatic, or a lot of gray, this sectioning of the square placement is actually going to accentuate that more. If you want to hide or diminish some of that root line, you're actually going to want to go in at more of a diagonal. So I would have added this hair in and this hair in. because what that visually does from head on is that's going to help to soften that. Having it be like this is going to clearly show that root line indicator of your roots. So you don't care about your roots, they don't bother you that much, or you just don't have roots, you can go for the square sectioning. If you have roots, diagonal. So practice, try it, let me know. The other thing is if you have a lot of roots, you don't want this to be skin tight, right? You want to go in, take your fingers, like you're pinching, grab a little bit of hair, and we're going to pinch and pull to create space and volume on the hairline, so that instead of that being like a slick back effect and you seeing that line, this is going to diffuse it and soften that. Cool? All right. Awesome. Okay. So we've done with short hair. Moving on to medium hair. Everyone should recognize her. She was one of my models last week. Thank God she was available for casting this week, so I got lucky. And I went and I did the same curl on her that I have on myself. I'm going to show you 2 angles of how to create this wave. 1, as if I was a stylist over my client. 2, as if I was a stylist at home or client at home trying to figure out this motion. I think this is one of the easiest curl patterns, which is one of the reasons I love it. So here's the section of hair. Prep her to stay firm. Another takeaway, hairspray and hairspray application. A lot of clients will do this. When I say spray that section of hair, when I was doing the tutorials, it was here. Like they were just spraying in one section to remind a client to pull farther out and use the mist of the spray. Now that's hard, even me looking at myself in my phone, trying to find that angle, right? So I told my client, hold your hair out. Your brain knows where your other hand is. Hold the can, aim it, look away. Second I said that, my client was able to spray a perfect mist in that area because she wasn't relying on the mirror anymore, which is backwards and opposite and really confuses them. Your hands really know the angle and your brain knows where your hands are at. So, pro tip. After we've sprayed our section, it's all kind of stuck together. Take a brush, run the brush through it. That makes a difference. I'm going to skip that section I spot sprayed pretty hard because she's really wet and sticky. So we're going to hide that. I'm going to come in. GHD Platinum Plus. Slide in. Deep wave. Slide down just slightly. And we're going to rock this back and forth. Oh, wait a second. The great thing about the GHD tools is that they warm up very quickly. So mine sat idle for a little too long, which is a great emergency safety feature. That dinging sound lets me know that she's heated up and ready to go. So that was very quick. But if I leave her idle for too long, she'll automatically turn off reserve heat and have a safety mode. So this is just a deep rocking motion back and forth, just like that. So I get this question a lot, and I hope my other friend Eric is watching because he said, how do I do this without getting ridge marks? I get ridge marks all the time. It's technically still, it's a styler, but when we're using this motion, it is a flat iron. You're gonna get ridge marks, but once it cools and you run your hands through it, those ridge marks disappear because you can see my hair, and I did it like an hour ago, and they disappear. Okay, one more section on the mannequin, and then I'll move on to myself and some scarf styling. Pulse check. How's everyone doing? That good?
It'll take a minute.
I know, there's always that little lag. Yeah. Okay, so we sprayed our hairspray, brushed our section.
Do you have a regular straightener?
Question is, can I do this with a regular straightener? Thank you for the question, whoever you were, and Ryan for facilitating. Yes, you can do this with a regular flat iron. What I've noticed, though, is depending on the flat iron, whether it's too wide or if the back of the plates are kind of more square, you get a deeper ridge line from the plate mark, and sometimes it won't be as soft. So you can try it, but because there's such a vast variety of flat irons out there on the market, it's hard to say if your particular flat iron will work. Okay, so I went in a little bit more horizontal with that one. I'm going to show you a slight variation if you go in a little bit more to diagonal. So I always try to start the same direction. So also going at more of a diagonal will help to hide and reduce the ridge marks. And I did more diagonal here around her face, so she's a little softer. Cool? Okay. Great questions, guys. So I'm going to move this over real quick just for now. Slide over my Vanna White tray. Okay. So I'm going to show you what this looks like on yourself, because I think this is also a huge takeaway for us as stylists and for our clients, is watching tutorials on this angle, me doing it. My clients watching me do their blow dry on them, that angle. It's completely different from when you're at home in front of the mirror doing it yourself, okay? So again, pro tip, another hairstyle, you can just put braids in your hair and let it set, but today that's not the look. So grab a clip, my hairspray, my styler. I'm going to divide this into 2 sections. Spray. I forgot my little baby blue. Brush. Okay. So if I'm looking at the mirror, I'm coming in open towards the center of my face. Rotation, rotation. I'm going to let that cool before I run my hands through it. Next section right above it. For me, I have kinky roots, so I like to get that root real smooth. Okay, my root is smooth. Rotate, rotate. So I know people are asking, how do you not get the ridges? It's kind of impossible. You will get the ridges, but once it cools and you shake it out, that line will disappear. So don't fear that when you see it right away and think, I did it wrong, I have to do it again. You don't need to do it again. Okay. So the GHD tools, what makes them amazing is, unlike other hot tools, they have a built-in heat setting. Okay. So they have their own patent. They have their own patent. There we go. On technology. And what this does has multiple sensing plates within their hot tools. So traditional hot tools have a heat setting so you can turn it on to what you want it to be. Because there's multiple sensing plates in these tools, they automatically go to 365 degrees and stay there more consistently. So because of that, that's the ideal temperature for molding hair before it's too hot or too cool. There we go. And because of that, we have a couple claims to fame with our GHD. Healthier hair, shinier hair, longer lasting color, because you don't have to over manipulate those sections of hair multiple times. So that's the wave.
For some people just signed in that missed something.
Yeah.
Can you just let them know that this is
Yeah. So those of you tuning in a little bit late, I know there's so many lives happening everywhere in education. This will be recorded. We've become pros at this. We should have it up hopefully by the end of the day. So if you missed anything, you'll be able to go back and rewatch it. Don't worry. Okay. So that's my waves. That's how I do it. Everyone loves it. That's just how it settles. And again, going back to my favorite tool, which is Platinum Plus by GHD. Next, I want to talk about, I'm just going to do my time check real quick, is cute messy bun, and scarves. There are thousands of types of variations of scarves and headbands. But today for you, I'm going to go through, because people always ask me and tell me my hair looks cute in a bun. It's an easy way to hide it when it's dirty. I have texture already in it. It's a good place to go, right? So what I start with is just bringing all my hair up into a ponytail. I try not to brush past my hand, because I almost want a little bit of that tangle or texture to gather here in my ponytail so that it makes my bun look fuller and a little more fun and crazy. I'm going to take these clips off. There we go. Again, going back to these sprongy hair ties, I'm actually going to use 2 to get extra height, because believe it or not, my hair is very fine. So 1, 2, 3 rotations. The key with this is that this is up and secure, but it's not super tight. I also have, in my opinion, a round head. So if I have it too tight, the scarf will slip off, and I want to have enough room to give this volume and texture. So I leave these ends out, and now I have this nice, sturdy, floppy bun, okay? Let's take a step back. I take the ends and half of the bun and twist and rotate, and then take one of those regular handy dandy hair ties and secure that part down. And then I'll start shaping it with pins. So this is like, so it's big and full, okay? If your hair's really clean, if your hair is really clean, then I would recommend going in and teasing it first just to give it a little bit of fullness. I'm gonna grab a few pins and I'm just molding the structure into place a little bit. And I'm gonna give myself a little slack and get ready. So that's good for now. Now I'm gonna play with a scarf. A couple different types of scarves, regular size. This is like a nice square. So to make these ones work, we have to fold them like triangles, which I'll go over in just a second. Or, this scarf reminds me of Stevie Smith so much. Look at this one. It's more long and angled. So these ones can sometimes be easier and they have a little extra slack. And when they're longer like this, you get the option of tying it in the front or doubling it back to the back. So my favorite way to wear one of these is you can fold it. I really just scrunch it and gather it. Back and bottom, over the top of my ears, one knot, okay? This is where she's gonna start to live and settle. Now, if I wanna have a big, cool, floppy bow, I tie a knot here. If I wanna secure this and not have that, I'll tie it here in the back and tuck the ends in. Cute, okay? Hide dirty hair, easy at home style, scarf number 1. Scarf number 2 option, secure it in the front. Now what happens a lot of the times is a lot of extra length, right? This might drive you crazy. Take the ends, stick them underneath the base of the bun, and you bobby pin them down. Just like that. Then I'll take my bun, stick her high up, and pin her in place too. Just like that. Some people don't like to see no hair around their face, so you can pull out little strands here. If you have fringe, you can wear the fringe out. But super easy trick, really quick. And guys, I still struggle with it too sometimes. Like if it's not working, I got to do it 1 or 2 times. It doesn't just always happen like that, so that was an Instagram miracle. Thank God it happened on the first try. But practice, they're really fun, okay? The other option with a regular square scarf is make a triangle. Fold the tip of the triangle in, right, that point. Fold, fold, fold. Oh my God, what if I wear both? I'm gonna wear both. I'm just gonna finish wearing both. This is actually a new look.
People are asking where you get your scarves.
Where do I get my scarves from? Actually, a lot of these are vintage from like my grandma, and then I also get a lot at thrift stores. I got this brand new one on Amazon the other day. It was like $7, guys. Come on. How cute is that? So when I pick a scarf for an outfit too, I use it as either an accent color that goes with my outfit or my accessory that pops. So this would look great with a white t-shirt and blue jeans, right? Super simple. Put on a red lip and some hoop earrings and you're super ready for your Zoom meetings. You look professional, but you look cute and trendy, but you didn't have to do any hot tools on your hair or anything, right? Okay. So speaking of no hot tools and starting to wrap things up just a little, I know we still have some time, but I want to be conscious. I'm not going to go over today, Rochelle. Let me slide that out of place. So we went over short hair, medium hair, buns, and scarves. So we're recapping as we go. So a few of you have been seeing on my feed, I posted a look. Let me go ahead and throw it up real quick for you. And I want to give a shout out to the page that I found this on was Beat by Jess. So I always try to give credit if I find something. So here this little time lapse is. So this is a look that I did. I practiced this a few days in a row till I got it down. I practiced on Ryan as well. He let me practice this on him. So this was a no heat style done again with a scarf to create amazing curl and volume using absolutely no heat. So we're going to go over this right now. Okay. So you guys can see that. Let me take that off. Now we're back. So here is the finished look. Again, this on its own is its own little hairstyle. Right there. So actually, let's do the reveal just in case, and then I'll do how I did it. So again, this one's live. The difference with this is you want to do this before you go to bed. So that way you sleep on it and your natural body heat and natural just sleeping on it, the hot, cool effect of it, because hair's moldable, wet to dry, hot to cool, right? So that's the best time, I think, to do this. And so for the past 3 nights, Ryan has slept with one of these in his hair. You can go ahead and pop in a camera and show them. He has one in his hair right now. Okay, so we're going to show his reveal in a little bit as well. He is my great test dummy. Okay, back to the real models. Here we go. So let's go ahead and take this out. Again, this is a live reveal. I hope this really worked. It's working. I see it. Woo, girl. There we go. So no heat, guys. I swear to you. She was air dried from last week's demo. She's been sitting in the closet. And what I actually set her hair with, this actually wasn't even a scarf. Everyone knows I like my men's leisure shirts and Hawaiian print shirts, but the men's shirts are way too long. And so this was like the bottom couple inches of one of my shirts I had just cut off, and I just had the extra fabric. So it can be creative.
Thanks, I sort of shout outs.
Okay. Okay, you guys can see that curl. Whoa. Right? So now I'm just going to go in. Actually, I'm going to go in with my paddle brush. Now, I did put a little product in her hair. I dampened her down with a spray bottle, and I took dark oil and mixed it with Shape Me, that same 48-hour cold gel, and I just ran that through her hair. To get this curl. I mean, it's a pretty nice strong curl right there using no heat. So the difference in this and my demo on my hair in the time lapse, and even let me put Ryan's up real quick, is Ryan and I have quite a bit more layers in our hair. Okay. Okay, let's see if we can still maybe see part of Ryan. So in the video I just posted, the bottom picture with my hands running through it, that's Ryan's hair when I took this set out yesterday. So he has a lot more layers. So it's going to open up quite a bit more. So again, thank you to Beat by Jess for the inspiration and watching that. So let me show you how I set this. And you guys are going to want to practice. The looser you do this, the softer the curl, the stronger and tighter you do this, the stronger the curl, okay? So let's bring her over. Here she is. Turn her this way so Ryan can get in. Got that angle. I think actually come on this side of me, I think, over my shoulder. I'm gonna try this, okay. So I did this side already. It's clipped out of the way. When you're doing this as well, place a clip here when you first start so that the scarf stays still. So you're going to take a first section, just like you're doing a braid, okay? And you're just going to wrap it around the scarf. Then we're going to take a second section, wrap it around the scarf, okay? Now I have this hair in the back. Now it's time to add some new hair. Like that. Wrap it to the front. Pick up new hair. Almost like a French braid for those braiders out there. Take it to the back. Pick up more hair. So just think of this, how I had to practice this a few times, is you're taking hair from the back, wrapping it around the scarf. Hair from the front, wrap it around the scarf. It can be damp. So the original video I watched, her hair looked dry and she just took a spray bottle and sprayed water in it. Okay, so when I did this on Ryan's hair, like the video you just watched, I didn't even spray water in it. I just went for it. It was clean. That was it. Okay, hair from the back, bring it to the front, So essentially you're just wrapping the hair around the scarf, okay? So there's no more hair here in the front, so we bring it to the back, grab more hair from the back, twist it around, right, all in one new section, twist, hair, twist, right? And then we're just gonna bring it down. I found that some of the best results were securing this with scrunchies, not tight elastics. The tight elastics on the end gave it a kink. The scrunchie was softer, okay? Now we have our two ends, okay? So the tighter, and I think that was the takeaway from the blonde I just did, I wanted her to look good for you today. I twisted that super tight. You don't need to go too tight, just one twist, bring it to the top.
Bobby DeVora asked, Ryan slept with it in?
Yes, so we're gonna take his out next, okay? Oh, we had a question if Ryan slept with his turban in. Yes, he did. So if you see how I'm wrapping this, these are the ends. You're gonna loop it under the center so it stays up here on top and tie a bow. Drink your tea, drink your wine, watch your shows, go to bed. There you go. Super simple, okay? All right, so we have 9 minutes, but I really want to do one last thing for you guys for long hair, okay? So this is a little bit, I wanted to do something that, yes, we've been talking about everyday styles. I wanted to punch this up and make this a little bit more editorial. So this is a long-haired mannequin. I went in and I smoothed her out. I wanted to give things that were really great for everyday wear, but I wanted to do something for stylists out there for maybe editorial, playing with their doll heads, getting inspiration for photo shoots. So I created a ponytail, did a mini French twist across the top, just to create a sleek texture. This can look like anything. What I wanted to talk about was an S curl that I'm going to do right now with a flat iron and some finishing accessories, okay? So this technique is definitely worth practicing. To create that deeper S wave, you're going to take a small horizontal section, and I'm doing a pushing motion and tapping that flat iron so that the hair bunches up inside. You don't want to do, I'm going to do this on her, she's a mannequin, but you don't want to ever hold this on your model or client like this. It's a constant tapping so that we're maintaining integrity of her hair. And if you notice my right hand, the hand holding the flat iron really does not move that far away from the head. The left hand is feeding and doing all the work so that I get a deeper S wave pattern like that, okay? So this is something that you can do and leave molded in hairspray and pin up to create more texture. What I've done down through here with the ponytail is expand to make it bigger and fuller. You can also add in color extensions. So I guess I don't have a colored extension home with me right now to be able to demo that, but you could add colored extensions in so that you can see that texture and that movement. Now the finishing touches are some accessories that I have over here. So you guys can see the rhinestones. I did this on my client when she went to the AMAs last year, and we put rhinestones all over the sleek part of her hair for her look. It was really cute and pretty. So we can do the same thing today. We can also change it up a little bit. So what's great about some of these rhinestones is they come on these strips that are already kind of sticky, right? So these are really quick and easy. Let's say I wanted to put that there in her part. Now I have some lash glue here. It's already getting tacky. Quarantine problems, I only have dark. I would highly recommend if your model or your client is blonde to use clear. So lash glue is water soluble. Make sure you get the water soluble kind, because a good rinse or a little water, spray water, and that'll come right off. So something that's a little more blingy and shiny like that. And then last, to accentuate, are these little glue bops. So these are from downtown LA, Fashion District. These are actually pieces for jewelry making. But these are really great accessories to add into the hair for photo shoots, red carpet, jazzing something up. Shoot, for those bloggers out there, you guys are wearing your space buns, doing your tutorials, could you imagine a bunch of these in your space buns to add a little extra layer? Or just to pop up for competition work. I know everyone's entering BEA right now and having to enter with mannequins. So little accents like that you can go to town with. Cool? All right. So it's going to recap my notes, make sure we went over everything. We went over short hair, right? And how to style grown out bangs. We went over how to hide styles that hide root regrowth, right? We went over essence and tips and tricks for how to teach to your clients, but also for us as well behind the chair to get inspirational. We did medium length, long length, and editorial. So I feel like we went over quite a bit of stuff today. Last but not least, as our teaser, let's see one more variation of that no hot tools needed style here on Ryan. So I'm going to bring in a chair real quick. He's going to flip to selfie mode, and we're going to see how this one came out, okay? By the way, guys, I have literally the best husband. He sets up all this display stuff. I mean, I do this hair part, but he does the display stuff. He lets me practice on his hair all the time. He's my camera guy, my tech question answer, everything.
Here comes the hearts.
Yeah. Okay, so this one came out very much more like yesterday and a very normal wearable beach wave curl with no heat. So again, just set him with a scarf. Wrap the hair around the scarf, each section. And then here we go.
I think the mustache goes well with it too.
I agree. There we go. Thank you. I mean, that came out good, right, guys? Okay, I'm going to have you stand up near the camera just so they can see over there in that front angle. Yeah.
Yeah.
So practice, practice, practice. I'll be posting the time lapses and this video on the page too so you can see. But I think this is a really good game changer for you guys right now to grow your hair out. Also have to use a lot less heat on your hair, versatile styles, and ways to have fun. So I hope you guys enjoyed today. Thank you so much for joining me. Stay positive, stay happy, stay creative, and I'll see you guys soon.